Hey there, welcome to another episode of Cooking with Violet Vixen. Tonight we are making quiche, and it is called cheese and spinach quiche. This is a classic quiche. It's two different sorts of quiches normally. You got your Lorraine or your Florentine. This one is sort of a variation on the two. You can add extra ingredients to it. However, I'm going with my recipe. Here's what we need. And as you can see down the bottom, I've got it serves 4 to 6. That depends on obviously how big you cut the slices. It's going to be a round one, so if you want to serve 4, you'll cut it into 4. If you want to serve 6, you'll cut it into 6, or you could cut it into 8, and it should freeze well, so that's good. Serve with veggies or salad. I am doing a Greek salad to last for 2 nights, so come on in, I'll show you what we need. Excuse me. So you need your oven on 190. I've got mine on 180 because it's got a mind of its own. With the pastry, if you can do your own, go for it. I thought I had some short crust pastry in the freezer. Unfortunately, it's only sweet. I don't want sweet short crust. I want this one, so I'm going to have to use this one. This one's a bit cracked and munted, but it doesn't really matter because I'm going to be able to push it into the flan dish anyway. That's what we call a flan dish. I haven't got one where you can push the base out, which sometimes are good but sometimes aren't good, because if you cook a quiche and you've got a base that pushes out and you have a flaw with your pastry, all your liquid's going to go nights. So we also need 25 grams of butter, which we are going to melt, 3 eggs, which I'm going to crack one at a time as I need them, 3/4 of a cup of milk. I'm still using the Long Life lactose-free milk, half a cup of single light cream. I've just brought the thickened cream, and it's not light, but it'll do the job. Salt and pepper. I have to get some more salt and pepper soon. 1 tablespoon of chopped chives. Now, because I knew I wasn't doing this recipe for a while, here's a little tip. I stuck the whole thing in the bottom of the freezer. I've snipped off what I needed, which was the 1 tablespoon. And I can pop that back in the bottom of the freezer like that. So I don't need to chop it all up straight away. So I'm quite happy with that. Half a cup of grated cheese. And then we've got 2 25-gram packet of chopped spinach, frozen and thawed. You can buy it frozen. It looks like little ice cubes. Don't advise putting it in your drink, but then again, smoothies are made out of weird things now. I've just got them soaking in water, but they're going to be good to go very, very soon. So now that you know what we need, this is actually going to be the easiest thing to make, because it's basically pastry in, everything in the bowl, into there, into the oven. So let's get ready to rumble. Okay, so we've got our flan dish. In Australia we call them quiches, but we can call it a flan as well. Alright, so grab your brush. We've just melted the butter. Don't be afraid to put extra butter in it, because it will be really good this way. I've got a few chives left over in there. I was a bit lazy when I chopped the chives up. Alright, so I've got that super duper buttered. Okay, let's see how this piece of pastry is looking, which I have to laugh because it's actually advertised as light and crumbly as well. It is light and crumbly. But anyway, I think I've had it in the freezer for a while. So, that being said, I think I'm going to be better off just plopping it in like so. Okay, so the way you do this, you don't just leave it like that and go, oh, it doesn't fit. This is why I like the roll your own pastry, because got more flexibility and give with it. But fear not, because while it's defrosting, it's actually becoming pliable. So I can give it a bit of a massage. Join it all together. Whoops, not that far together. Okay. So what we're going to do with these corners, I'm going to pop it down like that, and that'll bring that up there, and same here. Alright, it's not the most beautiful looking pastry case, but don't judge me, I'm sure it will taste fine. It's very crumbly on the outsides, probably because, as I said, it's been defrosted and then refrozen. You should never do that. Unfortunately, my freezer is really old. I always try and remember how old it is, because it's a freestanding freezer. And long story short, we always used to make a joke about if we don't defrost it, the polar bear's going to move in. So therefore, twice a year, everything needs to come out, defrost it, chuck it all back in, and do like a little bit of a stock take and see what meals I've got and everything. So naturally, when you know you're going to do this, you try and use up things like pastry and, you know, things that aren't really going to freeze again. But because I'm only cooking when I need to cook and whatever, definitely going to have to rethink the way I do this in future. So anyway, that's a little bit of a side story. Okay, so we're happy enough with that. Don't prick it with a fork or anything, because we need it to hold liquid. It's got a few cracks in it anyway, so what needs to fall out will go underneath. It's fine. It's all good. It'll be like a frittata. Okay, into this bowl, we want our 3 eggs, which you that watch me regularly know I like to crack them into a cup first. 3 of them. 1 bad egg means you've got to throw everything out. And because I'm not using eggs as much as I normally do, I guess there's another issue. I've had 1 bad egg in ages, and that was about to go into a cake. So, and believe it or not, it wasn't for an episode. It was for, if it was for an episode, I would have shown you why I knew it was a bad egg. It was for a birthday cake I was making for a friend. So we're lucky I saw that before I just chucked it all in. Okay, so we have 3 eggs. Add the milk. And the 1/2 cup of cream. Cream's fine. Normally with the leftover cream, I like to have it in my coffee, but I'm trying to have black coffee in the morning. It might be helping. I think it helps speed up your metabolism. And it keeps me awake a little bit longer too. Lucky me. Season with salt and pepper. I'm sure this pepper's got nothing in it. Oh, it's got a bit in it. Okay, that one's annoying. There's like 4 grains in there. And I love pepper. So this is seasoned to taste. This is a good meal for when you don't really want to cook a lot, because you can have this cold. Okay, so I'm going to whip all this before I put everything else in. And when I say everything else, all we've got is the chives, cheese and spinach. So that's what I mean. Quiches are really good. All right, in go our chives. They never want to come off the spoon. They never want to go on the spoon, and they never want to come off the spoon. In goes the cheese. I keep the cheese down the bottom of the freezer as well, just so you know. If you keep things down the very bottom of the freezer, they don't freeze as much as if they're at the top. Good to know. Now, it tells you to put the spinach in. However, I'm coming up with a brainwave here. Here we go. I am going to put the spinach in there and then put all the liquid on top. Because I sort of want to try and squeeze all the liquid out of it as well. There's a lot of liquid in frozen spinach. Because this way we're going to get the spinach sort of a little bit more distributed. I was trying to think of the word. Alright. I'm going to wash that off my hands. It was a good idea, but it wasn't. Oh. Okay, so the last thing we need to do is just grab the mixture over the top. Oh, beautiful. There you go. I think that's given it a better option. There we go. Alright, I'm just going to scrape the top of this. Okay, so into the oven, 40 minutes or until set and golden brown. As I say, this part, the cooking part is going to vary depending on your oven. But I will see you when it looks like a quiche. Okay, so I only ended up giving it half an hour because my oven does what the hell it wants. It looks so good. I've stabbed it with a toothpick millions of times. As you can sort of see, it's darker in some spots, but that is good and ready to go. I've just had some of my Greek salad with French dressing. It was very nice. So enjoy. I had my dinner in 2 parts. This has been cheese and spinach quiche, cooking with Violet Vixen. I'm going to catch you on another adventure. Bye. Enjoy.